the foggy mountain road at dawn to fall asleep to. The mountain road begins in darkness, but slowly, gently, the first whisper of dawn touches the eastern sky. You are walking this quiet path alone, your footsteps soft on the cool earth, and all around you the fog is gathering like a gentle dream made visible. It drifts between the pine trees, soft and pale as silk, moving without hurry through the sleeping forest. This fog that surrounds you now is born from an ancient dance between earth and sky. As the night releases its hold on the mountain, the air near the ground has grown cool and heavy with moisture. Water vapor, invisible during the day, begins to surrender its hidden form. When air cools to a certain temperature called the dew point, it can no longer hold all the water it carries, and tiny droplets begin to form around microscopic particles floating in the atmosphere, specks of dust, grains of pollen, particles of salt carried inland from distant oceans. Each droplet is smaller than the width of a human hair, and billions upon billions of them gather together to create this soft veil that now wraps around the mountain. The road curves gently upward, and you notice how the fog grows thicker as you climb. Mountains create their own weather, their own moods. As warm, moist air rises along the mountain slopes, it encounters the cooler temperatures of higher altitudes. For every 1,000 feet you climb, the temperature drops by about 3.5 degrees. This cooling causes the rising air to reach its dew point more quickly, and clouds are born against the mountainside, clouds that, when you walk through them, are simply fog by another name. The silence here is profound, broken only by the occasional drip of condensed moisture falling from leaf to leaf. Fog has this quality of absorbing sound, softening the world, creating a cocoon of peace. The people who have lived in these mountains for generations understood this quality well. In the folklore of Alpine cultures from the Alps to the Himalayas, from the Appalachians to the Andes, fog has always held a sacred, mysterious place. Celtic peoples who lived among misty highlands believed that fog brought messages from the other world, that spirits traveled more freely when the mist rolled down from the peaks. In Japanese mountain folklore, the morning mist was considered a blessing, a sign that the kami, the spirits dwelling in nature, were present and watching over the land. As you continue walking, the fog begins to shift and swirl in subtle patterns. This movement reveals the invisible currents of air flowing around the mountain. Even on this still morning, the atmosphere is never truly motionless. Fog flows like a slow river of cloud, following the contours of the land, pooling in valleys, streaming through mountain passes. Atmospheric pressure decreases with altitude, and this changing pressure affects how air holds moisture. At sea level, the weight of all the atmosphere above presses down with considerable force. Here on the mountain, that pressure is less, and less pressure means cooler temperatures and more readily formed clouds and fog. You pause to rest on a smooth boulder beside the path, and in this moment of stillness, you begin to notice the ecosystem that thrives within and because of this fog. The moss on the rocks around you is lush and deeply green, thriving in the constant moisture. Lichens of gray and pale yellow cling to tree bark, organisms that exist in partnership, fungus and algae living as one, drawing sustenance from the very air itself. These mountain forests depend on fog in ways that lowland forests do not. In some coastal mountain ranges, fog drip, the condensation that forms on needles and leaves and falls to the ground, can contribute as much water to the forest as rainfall itself. The trees here have adapted to this world of mist and moisture. Their needles are designed to catch water from passing fog, their bark is thick to hold moisture, their roots spread wide to stabilize them against the winds. Ferns unfurl their delicate fronds in the understory, their ancient lineage stretching back hundreds of millions of years to a time when the whole earth was wrapped in warmer, mistier air. The light is growing now, though you cannot see the sun directly through the fog. Instead, the whole world seems to be illuminating from within, the white mist taking on hints of gold and softest pink. This is the magic hour that photographers and poets have always treasured. The dawn diffused through fog becomes not a harsh brightness but a gentle, all-encompassing glow. Light scatters through the water droplets, bending and reflecting, creating this soft radiance that seems to have no single source but emanates from everywhere at once. As you rise and continue walking, you reflect on how fog teaches a kind of wisdom. It asks us to accept limited vision, to move slowly, to trust the path even when we cannot see far ahead. It reminds us that not everything need be sharp and clear, that beauty exists in softness, in the blurred edges of things, in mystery and gradual revelation. The world becomes simpler in fog, just the next few steps, the next tree emerging from whiteness, the cool touch of moisture on your skin, the steady rhythm of your breath mixing with the breathing mountain. In this peaceful moment, as the fog begins its slow retreat before the strengthening sun, you understand why humans have always been drawn to mountains and mist. Here, wrapped in this gentle cloud, you are part of something ancient and ongoing, the endless cycle of water rising and falling, the patient work of condensation and evaporation, the slow greening of forests fed by mist. The foggy mountain road at dawn offers this gift, a moment of softness in a sharp world, a chance to walk slowly through mystery, to breathe deeply and let the peace of the mountain settle into your bones like the fog settles into the valleys below, quietly, gently, bringing rest to all it touches. Thank you for listening to this peaceful journey. If you enjoyed learning English through this soothing nighttime story, please subscribe to hear more calming tales. Leave a comment below with your requests. Tell us what landscapes, natural phenomena, or peaceful scenes you'd like to explore next as you drift into restful sleep. Sweet dreams.